Hello everyone, and today I'm going to show you ZenGM games, and specifically ZenGM Baseball. As you can see, there's 3 other sports available, but I'm going to focus on ZenGM Baseball, which I noticed has come out more recently, and I noticed this while I was at work, and I was able to play on my phone. You can play on your desktop using your web browser, or you can play on your phone using your phone's browser, or through mobile apps that they offer on the app stores for both Android and Apple. So I'm going to show you ZenGM Baseball, and we're going to do this in a multi-part series where today I'm going to show you how to create a league. So we go into ZenGM Baseball, and this is the detail screen for what ZenGM Baseball is all about. And you click Start Playing Now, and this will take you to your league's screen. Now, the first time you load this up, it will come up with a message saying that it is fully loaded and will work even if you are offline, which is good because then you don't have to worry about losing your progress if your internet goes down. Now, there's various ways to customize your league with custom rosters, and this page right here will show you a bit about how you can do so. They have options on Reddit, and also shows you how you can create using league files and editing league files and creating your own rosters and all that, and league options. So that's something you can play with on your own. There's various ways to do it. I'm just going to do a default league for what I am demonstrating here. So we go to Create New League, and we're going to name this YouTube League. Now, as you can see, there's customization options. You can have the default, which is the stock teams and generated players. You can upload a league file, which is provided in various areas, like on Reddit. On their Reddit, they will have people that post league files and also post league file URL links for various leagues. I'm going to leave this on the default and just use the stock fictional teams that they have here. And I'm going to go and I'm going to pick the Dallas Snipers to be my team. And below that shows the population, and that's a large population. Difficulty you can set as easy, normal, hard, and insane, which it says below. Increasing difficulty makes AI teams more reluctant to trade with you, makes players less likely to sign with you, and makes it hard to turn a profit. Makes it harder to turn a profit. So bear in mind these things when you select your difficulty. I'm going to leave it on normal. Now, if this is all you want to do to create your league, you can click on Create League, and you're done, and it will load up your new league. If you want to customize it a bit more, you click on Customize Settings, which I will show you now what you can customize in these settings. You have the option of equalizing region populations. You have the option of difficulty options. You have the option to auto-delete old box scores, which will automatically delete box scores older than the past 3 seasons because box scores use a lot of disk space. And then you have schedule options. You can customize how many games are in a season. But this setting can only be changed when you're in God mode. So in order to change these things, you need to enable God mode, which I will do now to show you what God mode does. God mode enables tons of customization features, including many of the settings found here. But if you ever enable God mode in a league, you will not be awarded any achievements in that league, even if you disable God mode. So watch out for doing that. I'm going to enable it though, because I don't care about achievements. And this allows me to now I can edit the number of games per season, the number of division games, the number of conference games, and when the trade deadline occurs. Standings, tiebreakers, and if you want a points formula to go with that, you would enter that in, and that's kind of tricky because you would have to write it in a specific language, in a specific mathematical language. It shows you can either rank teams by winning percentage like NBA, NFL, MLB, or points like NHL. To rank by winning percentage, leave this blank. To rank by points, enter a formula here, such as 2 times W, which is 2 points for a win, plus overtime loss plus T. OTL, which is overtime loss, plus T, which is tie. Available variables are W, L, OTL, and T, which is win, loss, overtime loss, and tie. I'm going to leave this blank though, because this is baseball, and we don't really need to use that. However, it is an option. Playoffs, number of playoff games per round. It's best, like this is, first round is best of 3, second round is best of 5, third round best of 7, fourth round best of 7. First round buys number. This is the number of teams that do not have to play in the first round, so by default it's set to 4. You have the option of a play-in tournament, which is an NBA-like tournament to determine the lowest seeded playoff teams. You can split playoffs by conference. You can choose the number of teams guaranteed per division, and you can reseed the rounds, which when enabled, the matchups in each round of the playoffs will be reset on the best team. Will be reset so the best team always plays the worst team. Players, biographical info. You can customize that. You can customize the home countries and names of generated players. The GOAT formula. This is a frivolity thing. GOAT Lab for details. But I just leave this alone. I don't touch this. Teams, minimum roster size. This is a God mode option where you can change the number of players per team. The max roster size, minimum, and max number of players per team. I'm leaving these alone. You can have draft types, which is options are MLB 2022. You have random options. You have random lottery only, coin flip random, no lottery worst to best, no lottery best to worst, custom lottery, no draft, rookies are free agents. So you have various options there. Custom number lottery selections, you can customize that. Custom lottery chances. This only applies if draft type is set to custom lottery, which is specifically the number of chances each team should have to win the lottery. So, but I leave all that alone. Tradable draft pick seasons, number of draft rounds, and age of draft prospects. I usually don't touch any of these. I'm not that much into customizing the draft. Finances, I mostly leave all of this alone. Salary cap, minimum payroll, luxury tax threshold, luxury tax, salary cap type, and budget. I just leave all this alone, but you can go through and play with it as you want. All-Star game scheduling, which is new lately. You can choose how you want team assignment to be by conference or mixed. Inflation, I don't touch any of this. I just leave it alone. Contracts, minimum contract, max contract. Again, I don't touch any of this. But you have max contract length, minimum contract length. Players can refuse to negotiate, can refuse after rookie contract. Player mood traits. Rookie contracts, again, I don't touch any of this. It is basically all stuff related to contracts. I don't play with that. Events AI to AI trades factor. AI teams retire jersey numbers. Tragic death rate. This can happen. It's a low chance, but you can make it a better chance of that happening if you really want to get crazy. Tragic death types. You can customize this, and a screen will pop up. And there's various tragic death types that will happen, like player name died from a drug overdose. Player name was killed by a gunshot during an altercation at a nightclub. Eaten by wolves. He was delicious. Died in a car crash. Was stabbed to death by a jealous ex-girlfriend. Committed suicide. Died from a rapidly progressing case of Ebola. Was killed in a bar fight. Died after falling out of his 13th floor hotel room. Was shredded to bits by the team plane's propeller. Was hit by a stray meteor. Accidentally shot himself in the head while cleaning his gun. Was beheaded by ISIS. Spontaneously combusted. Had a stroke after reading about the owner's plans to trade him. Died of exertion while trying to set the record for largest number of sex partners in one day. Oh my god. So there's they really get crazy with some of these, Here's one. Was intensely focused on playing ZENGM baseball on his cell phone as he walked across the street. He was so distracted by his ultimately fatal obsession. Player name uploaded himself to the cloud and can no longer participate in corporal pursuits. So they can get crazy. So you can customize, you can cancel, you can save. I'm going to cancel. And then we have the probability that a new player will be the brother of an existing player. That has a percentage. Sun rate, the same thing. Force retire at age. Hall of Fame threshold factor. Then we have injuries, kind of all this stuff. You have the option to stop sim on injuries and all that. Game simulation, number of innings per game. Home field advantage. This is the percentage boost penalty given to home away player ratings. Default is 1%. Overtime losses, regular season only. This is mostly good for hockey, not so much baseball. Designated hitter options. Enter all to make all conferences use a DH. Enter none to make no conferences use a DH. To have DH only for some conferences, enter a JSON array of integers containing the conference ID numbers of the conferences you want to have a DH. For example, enter 0 to make only the first conference have a DH. Challenge modes. No draft picks. Your team will not be given any draft picks. You can still trade with other teams to acquire their picks. No free agents. You are not allowed to sign free agents except to minimum contracts. No trades. No visible player ratings. Lose best player. At the end of the playoffs every season, the best player on your team will either retire if real player or die a tragic death if random player. You're fired if you pay the luxury tax. The luxury tax only exists if you have the hard cap disabled. You're fired if you miss the playoffs. Thanos mode. At the end of the playoffs, there's a 20% chance of half the league either dying if random player or retiring if real player. After each event, it can't happen again until 3 years later. That's a crazy kind of mode. Then you have 2 game mode options that you can turn on as well. Spectator mode, and this is really good if you want to just sit back and let things play out. This says in spectator mode, the AI controls all teams and you get to watch the league evolve. This is similar to Tools, autoplay, but it lets you play through the season at your own pace. I like this. I usually enable this, so I'm going to turn this on. You don't have to. You can just be the GM of your own team. Then you have Groundhog Day. Next season will start immediately after the playoffs, with the same exact players and rosters as the previous season. No player development, no persistent transactions. Groundhog Day can be enabled at any point in the season prior to the draft. I usually don't do this, except there is a Franchise Legends League file is available that does have this enabled for obvious reasons. To put players back on their teams, which another way you can avoid really doing, another way you can really avoid having roster changes and roster moves and all that is to turn off trades, turn off free agency. Then you don't really have to turn this on, but it's there. And then you can hide inactive teams. This will hide inactive teams from drop-down menus at the top of many pages, such as the roster page. I don't usually do this. Usually there isn't many inactive teams in leagues, but larger leagues will have them probably. So, once you are finished customizing everything the way you want it, you hit Create League, and it will process for a little bit here. And it's done. And as you can see, you are on your team's dashboard, and this is the newly created league. And on the side here is a menu, which we will go through in the next video, which I will make probably tomorrow, and I will show you exactly what goes into this game. And then in part 3 we will actually watch a game be played out. So I hope you all have enjoyed this and enjoyed this little look at ZenGM Baseball. This is part 1. Part 2, we will go into all the various screens in the game, as there is a lot of them, so I don't want to take up too much time doing that in one video. So I hope you all have enjoyed. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time.